That is long. All right, everyone. It just went live. I was just noticing something that we can broadcast live for up to 8 hours here. So it's a good thing because we've got a ton of content for you here tonight.
You'll be on your own, Jordan, after a little bit here.
Oh no, I gotta get my beauty sleep. I don't wake up looking this good every day if I sleep less than 8 hours. But folks, welcome down tonight. This is Team Be the Change, and you might have been invited here by someone in the team. Maybe you're a part of the team. Either way, we got some really cool stuff planned for you tonight. A really good training, and one of the shifts that we made not too long ago is we've done a lot of stuff on personal development, a lot of stuff on mindset, mainly because we know that's what people need. In fact, a lot of people in our teams have come to us and said, we just need to get our mind right. Like, they realize this. They want more of that. Like, we have a team site chock full of training. We have like products that are just filled with training. It's just a matter of like getting up and doing this stuff. It's just a matter of waking up every day and doing the things that you should be doing to build a business. That being said, we also decided that we wanted to start offering some training on a regular basis, to really just put out some goodwill out to the marketplace and teach you guys what it is that we know, and just share it with you. So the thing that we're going to be talking about tonight are 3 things required to build a successful MLM team. We're going to cover all that stuff here over the course of the night. But first and foremost, I want to introduce Amy Starr Allen, and pull her out and have her say whatever she wants to say before we get into it.
Hey guys, welcome to our Team Be the Change Tuesday night hangout, and looking forward to delivering some value for you tonight. In case you're wondering where Chris, our other leader here, is, Chris, he's driving back from Alaska right now, and he was planning on being on the hangout tonight, and he's in a place called Whitehorse where he's been planning on stopping, and did stop for the night, and turns out there's a big conference going on there, and all the hotels were full. So the only place that he was able to get doesn't have internet, and so unless something has changed since the last time we heard from him, I don't know if there's somewhere he can go for a little while to jump on or whatever, but he might not be able to jump on with us tonight. So, some of you are probably wondering where he is, and it's always weird when we're not all here, but but anyway, so I just wanted to fill you in on that and just say hello to everybody, and yeah, just looking forward to, like I said, the topic tonight. It's going to be a good one. Probably be able to keep it kind of short and sweet, don't you think, Jordan? You're muted.
I'm muted. I was going to say absolutely, especially with the long-winded talker not here.
Yeah.
No offense, Chris, if you're watching right now, buddy. I love when you go on your rants.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm no angel, so I can't really. Yeah. I should say without 2 long-winded talkers here. I should say it that way. That's probably a better way to put it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Anyway, so yeah, that's it. I'm ready to rock.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, I got some good notes over here, folks. And one last thing I want to say to you is, you probably noticed there's a link right up above there. Go ahead and share that on your Facebook wall right now, on your Google Plus wall, on your Twitter. If you believe there's anyone, if you guys have team members or anything, because we're going to be sharing 3 really important things now. These things that I've kind of discovered over the years. This isn't theory. This isn't like, this is something I heard from someone else and now I'm sharing it with you. This is stuff that over the past 5.5 years I've implemented into various businesses. I've been a top recruiter in every single company I've ever been involved in. I've gotten an award for being a top recruiter in every single company I've ever been involved in. And more importantly, the things that I've discovered allowed, between working with Amy and Chris and some of the awesome other leadership that we have here in the team, we were able to build a very successful team last year in a very short time period. In a very short time period last year, we were able to go from just like, maybe 100 or 200 people in our team to kicking it into high gear with the stuff we're going to teach you tonight and building a team in the thousands. More importantly, here's a really cool fact about our team. 1 in 400 people have earned over $10,000 in a single month with us, right? One in 400. Now that might not sound like a ton. You're like, oh, that's not a lot. That's a small percentage. But here's a fact that I learned. A statistic that I heard not too long ago about some gigantic MLM company, which is going to remain nameless, quite honestly, because I don't know the name of the company. But a friend of mine was talking to a leader in that company, someone who'd earned literally tens of millions of dollars, and he was talking about how many people actually go on to start earning over $10,000 in a single month. With that being said, folks, I'm mentioning incomes here, so I got to let you know our results are an average, obviously 1 in 400. That's not average. That's not an average percentage even, and you're going to understand why in just a moment. But if you want to see our average earnings, there's a link at the way bottom of this page. You can go click on that says income disclosure, earnings disclosure. You can go visit the website of the person who invited you here and check out the average earnings for the people in our company. But the statistic that I had heard was that 1 out of 160,000 people in that company go on to earn over $10,000 in a single month. 1 out of 160,000, right? Here we are 1 out of 400. What are the percentages here? Well, of course we're not average. Our team isn't average. And so that certainly might make that number sound a little bit more awesome, because it really is. That being said, we also have people that on our team that have earned thousands of dollars a month, $5,000 a month, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month. A lot of different people that have earned a good amount of money here inside of like different months in their business. But that being said, we're going to get into it. Everything that we're sharing here tonight is all based off of our own experience. It's all based off of what we've done, what we've accomplished ourselves, and everything we've been able to achieve here. So, with that being said, I'm going to just get into the first of the 3 things required, and that is stay consistent, not just with your actions, but also with your vision as well as the company, so that you can actually build a following. You see, I see people time and time again, and quite honestly, I wasn't ever a company jumper, because I would stick with a company for a very long period of time, but there was a point in time in the past where I was building a couple different companies at once, right? I didn't just have multiple income streams where I had some affiliate stuff coming in and whatnot. I actually had multiple different companies that I was trying to build at the same time. And what that showed people, I actually had people coming to me and saying, Jordan, how are you building 2 companies at once? How are you doing this? Like, how do you build a team in each one? And my answer would always be, well, I'm good at marketing, so I can just market this one, and I know how to market, so I can just market them both effectively. The truth of the matter is that helped me to be able to market and sponsor people and recruit people into a company and make sales and whatnot. The only problem was it didn't allow my team to actually duplicate my results, because they saw me as kind of all over the place, so they tried to do 2 things at once, and they never got traction in either one, right? The other thing that happened to me was last year, I'd say almost 2 years ago at this point in time, I had a guy contact me who I had connected with years earlier. I saw him speaking on stage at an event, connected with him. He's a really cool guy, and he contacted me, and he was looking at getting started with me inside of Empower Network, and it would have been awesome, because the guy's literally a 7-figure earner and would have brought, he didn't have a massive team at that point because he was between companies, but he literally has gone on to build a very successful team in the company that he's in now. And through talking to me on the phone, he realized, I'm not focused on this company. I'm kind of in a couple different places at once, and he didn't feel comfortable bringing his team into a place where the leadership there was kind of going to be all over the place, right? He didn't feel comfortable with that. Therefore, he didn't get started with me. That's literally, I can't even put a number on that, but that's a $1 million mistake, a multiple $1 million mistake, is me not being focused back then. And so, really from everything that I'm sharing with you there, all the mistakes that I made with that, I learned from that. 16 months ago, I came here, I shared my vision, I said, I am focused here and solely here, I'm not going anywhere, and it took a little bit of time for people to kind of see that I was serious, but over the past 16 months, because I've stayed focused, my vision has been here, my focus has been here, I've been running here no matter what happens. You know, there's been times in the company where we've had ups and downs in the past 16 months. There's been things that have gone on, and I've not walked away. I've stayed focused. I've kept my vision here, and because of that, I've been able to build a very successful team who sees that I'm consistently staying here. My vision has been the same. I mean, my vision might shift a little bit over time, but it still involves building my team here. And when people see that, they're going to stick with you and run with you. And the other thing that happens is people that have been watching and looking, and they're like, well, you know, my leader's joined 6 other companies by now. I'm going to look for someone who's been consistently with one company for a period of time now. Because, I mean, doesn't it suck, people? Like, doesn't it kind of like piss you off if, like, you know, there's a little bump in the road and all of a sudden your leader kind of jumps to somewhere else, and then you're like, well, I just got in here like 3 weeks ago, and, you know, I spent all this money to get in here, and now my leader's going somewhere else, and now I have to go join them somewhere else. Well, I mean, who's to say that's not going to happen again and again and again and again and again? And so really, you want to just be consistent in your action. You want to be consistent with your company. There's going to be bumps and bruises along the way. I mean, even the biggest companies in our industry have, you know, roadblocks. They have obstacles that they have to overcome, and I guarantee you, when those obstacles hit, there's a lot of people that walk away and say, oh my God, it's got to be easier somewhere else. Like, the grass must be greener on the other side. The bottom line is the grass will be greener here if you just freaking water it, right? So the point being, folks, is just stay consistent with your vision, stay consistent with your company, stay consistent with your actions, and even through the tough times, the people will see that in you, and they'll continue to follow you. So that's number one. Amy, do you got anything you want to share about number one, about staying consistent?
Yeah, well, I totally agree with everything that you said. And, you know, the thing is, you know, and I'm really present to this right now because I've had some of my team members, thank you, by the way, to all of you that have sent me testimonials. I've asked for people to send me testimonials. And one of the biggest common things that people talked about was, about me as a leader, was that I'm consistent and that I have a consistent message and that I never go anywhere. Like, basically, you know, when you put a stake in the ground and people know that you're not going anywhere, what's happened over the time, like, I've been in this company now for 2.5 years since we launched, and some of my team members have left and come back because, like, they know that they have a home to come back to because I haven't gone anywhere. Like, I put my stake in the ground, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to waver, I'm not going to budge. And when people know that about you, they, you know, even if they have shiny object syndrome and go running off to the, you know, to do something else, when they realize that the grass is not greener on the other side, they'll come back when they know that you're solid, when they know that you have a vision, when they know that you're consistent and that you have your stake in the ground. You know, because what people really want, more than just a business that promises them lots of, you know, money and all that good stuff, is they want a leader. They want somebody that they can trust, somebody that they can follow, somebody that's not going to change their message on a regular basis. And more than anything else, that's what people want. And so that's what we're very, very conscious of here. And everything that we do, we actually have conversations about this too, is, you know, we never want to confuse people. We always, you know, want to make sure that people realize, you know, that we help people stay focused by not, you know, getting, you know, there's all kinds of fancy systems and this and that and everything else going on all the time. And we are committed to keeping our message consistent. And that's one of the reasons why our team continues to grow and why people come back and why we have so much loyalty here, is because we're loyal. And so, you know, it is such a powerful thing. The other thing is when you're consistent with your message, you know, people will join you because, like, I've had experiences where people have joined me because they've gone to YouTube and they've done a search for our company and they found my video, and my video happened to be the most recent video because I'm constantly making videos talking about this same message. And so if you're consistent with your message and somebody is looking for somebody to follow, and you have that consistent message and it's recent, like, you know, you're current with your message. It's not like you had that message 6 months ago and now you're on to the next thing and they found your video on YouTube but it's 6 months old. You know, if you're consistent with your message over time, that is going to attract people to you as well, because they're going to see, like Jordan was just explaining, you know, even big leaders, you know, that are looking to join. There's people right now that are looking to join our company, and they're trying to figure out who they want to join. And do you think they would rather join somebody that's in like 5 companies and 16 systems, or do you think they want to join somebody that's like solid, got their feet planted? So, you know, just keep that in mind, because the kind of people that you'll attract, you know, you'll also attract people that, you know, might not be big earners like Jordan was just talking about. They're just brand new people who just want a leader to follow. And again, they're gonna be looking for someone that's consistent and solid and not jumping from thing to thing and changing their message on a regular basis. So that's what I got, Jordan.
Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome stuff. Very cool. So, you know, again, folks, I didn't say this before, but grab a notebook and write some of this stuff down, because I really have been thinking, I've been thinking about this for a little while here. You know, I started shooting a video the other day about one of these 3 things, and then it kind of came into my mind. I'm like, well, you know, there's more than just that, you know, like, and obviously there might be more than just these 3 things here, but I promise you, if you get these 3 things right, if you stick with these 3 things no matter what, then you're gonna be able to build a successful team no matter where you are. I mean, I personally believe our company is the best. And certainly I hope whatever company you're in that you believe it's the best, and if you don't, well, then get started with us, you know, because ours is the best. So, I mean, I think everyone believes that their company is the absolute best. That's why I don't really, you know, ever want to have like a war with someone on whose company is better or whatnot. For me and for what I choose to do, I believe that this company is best. It's best for me. It's not best for everyone, but it's best for me for a lot of different reasons. And some of those reasons are, you know, the consistency and all that other stuff. Is our team has that, as well as the leadership has that. You know, like all the way up to the owners. The owners have that. It's just absolutely awesome to watch and to be a part of, because the message doesn't change. It's just so cool. So tip number 2, or thing number 2, I should say. Is allowing your team to market the way that suits them and provide as many tools and resources as you can so they have what they need. You know, I see a lot of different companies, and I've been involved in different companies over the years, and I remember 1 year ago, I was doing all of my marketing online, and Amy's probably going to share a very similar story to this. I was doing all of my marketing online to build my business. In fact, you know, we had offline meetings, and we had, you know, like hotel meetings once in a while, and we had home parties once in a while. And I was told, you know, go out and prospect on the street and ask the gas station clerk and this, that, the other thing to come here and show up. And I'll tell you what, I never once had a single person show up to a freaking home meeting or a hotel meeting ever. Not a single prospect that I ever have show up to a hotel meeting or a home meeting. And people are like, well, you're setting a bad example. I said, well, that's not the way I market. I market online. I bring all my people in online. Why? You know, for me personally, and this is just my personal opinion, I like to keep life separate from business, right? Like while I'm out, you know, biking or on vacation or, you know, out to dinner. I mean, how many people, like when you're out to dinner, have you ever had to prospect like the waitress or the waiter, and like you get that weird feeling like you're like, what do I say? How do I open this up? Do I really just say, do you keep your options open to making more money? Like, do I really want to, you know, do I really want to have to say that to people, right? Like there were so many things as to why I didn't want to market offline, and that's just my personal opinion. For some people, they've built extremely successful businesses doing that, so I won't say you can't do it, but I remember the company I was in, they're like, well, we can't teach people online marketing because it's not duplicatable. I'd say, well, but it's working. Like that's what I'm doing. So if you want me to teach people something, like I'm going to teach them what I know, which is this. And you know, it always just kind of got shut down. Like we can't teach people that kind of stuff because it doesn't work. You know, we can't really have them duplicating that. And you know, it was really funny. I had heard one of my friends say, he was up on stage, he was talking at this event, and he said, you know, all the people that are stuck on offline say online isn't duplicatable. And I forget what the statistic was, but basically the bottom line is they both duplicated about the same rate, right? They both duplicated about the same rate, because you're going to get people that are going to bust ass and work, whether they're doing it online or offline. Give people the freedom to do what's right for them. Give people the freedom to do it exactly how they want to do it. Don't bring people in and say, hey, you can only go and prospect people on Facebook, or you can only do Facebook ads, or you can only do YouTube videos. That's why when we bring people into our team, one of the key things we do is we say, People are like, what's your marketing strategy? And I say, well, I'm not going to tell you not because I don't want you to know it. Like, we have multiple marketing strategies. Or they say, what's your best marketing strategy? What works best for you? Well, this works best for me, but that doesn't mean it's going to work best for you, right? Do what's right for you. We have a plethora of different marketing strategies. We have tons of different tools, capture pages, sales resources, all sorts of different marketing training for both online and offline marketing. That you can plug into. And if you want to go and prospect people in the mall, and you want to talk to your waiter and waitress, and you want to ask the cab driver if they want to make more money, and all this other stuff, then feel free, do that kind of stuff. But if you don't want to, that's entirely fine too. I was out at a concert the other week with Amy, and we walked into Starbucks because Amy needed a coffee. And we were standing in line, and it was really interesting because this girl that we were standing in line behind started a conversation with us because she saw me pouring wine into my coffee cup. I was sneaking a bottle of wine into, anyways. So it was a good concert. But the lady, she said something to Amy along the lines of, I'm really looking for some way to get my mindset right, and all of a sudden, I really need to get into personal development, but I need something that's really going to help me along the way. And Amy's like, should I prospect her? I'm like, I don't care if you do, but Amy's like, I really don't want to, I really just didn't want to do it, because she doesn't do that stuff anymore. And, I just think that's so cool. So, one of the biggest things, folks, is there's a lot of companies out there that say, no, you can't do it that way. You can't do it that way, or teams that say you have to do it only this way and you can't do it any other way. And the truth is, I really don't care how you do it, as long as you do something that's successful. If you get to the point where you're really successful doing something, well, then we're certainly going to say, what are you doing, and can we teach it to the entire team? And not to tell the entire team to go do it, but to say, hey, folks, this is how this person's doing it. It might or might not be for you, but this is what they're doing. And if you have this kind of personality, or this kind of budget, or this kind of time freedom to do this kind of stuff, if you have this kind of time available to do this kind of stuff, well, then we'd recommend trying it out and moving forward with it and going with it. That being said, we also say, don't jump from a marketing strategy to marketing strategy to marketing strategy, just like you don't want to jump from company to company to company. I've seen some people that I've seen them literally in the past 2 months in 4 different companies, and every time they're marketing it, they're saying this is the best thing since sliced bread. And it's like, holy shit, man. This is the 4th time I've heard you say that about the 4th company I've heard you say. Like, what happened the last 3? Weren't you making great money with them, and all of a sudden you're in another one? It's just absolutely crazy. So the same thing with the marketing strategy. It takes 90 days of consistent action to really, really, really see results. And I'm not saying you can't plug in and see results right away. I started doing some Facebook ads the other day, and I started getting results right away with it, right? Okay, but that being said, to really master it, get my lead costs down, figure out how to get more leads, and really work on getting those conversions flowing, it's going to take me a time period to do that, especially if I was brand new with it. That being said, I've been doing Facebook ads for a very long time, so I'm not brand new at it. So it's kind of easier for me to jump back into that loop. But over a 90-day period of really hammering and doing something again and again and again is when you get to figure out what works for you, how it fits into your marketing style, your personality, your lifestyle, the audience you want to attract. Believe it or not, that has a lot to do with it. Someone could say, this is what I'm doing for marketing, and you go do that, and you're like, well, it's not working for me, because they attract an entirely different audience than you. So you got to figure out what's right for you and just run with it and stick with it. There was a marketing strategy that I'm going to be implementing here really soon, but the reason I haven't done it yet, although I've written out sales letters and I've started putting together funnels and whatnot, the reason I'm not doing it yet, the reason I'm not running it with it yet, is because the other 2 marketing strategies that I've been playing with, the other 2 funnels that I've been playing with, I should say, have not really started cranking out to the point where I can just kind of leave them go and just let them kind of run in the background and do its thing. I'm still testing and tweaking and playing around with things, and so I want to get one thing working really well, and be able to let that then just run on the sidelines. Like last year, I created a funnel, and I was able to, I was basically able to pay $1 in for my lead cost. I was basically able to stick $1 in and pull anywhere between $10 and $15 out. That's how good I had that funnel running. I felt comfortable leaving that thing run. I felt comfortable just letting it go. It's printing money, right? So, Thing number two is just allowing your team to have freedom, and that's only freedom in certain ways, because there's certain things people believe they need freedom on, or certain things that they want to do that we know is not right for them. So we kind of tell them not to do certain things. Although in my opinion, anyone's free to go and do whatever they want to do. It's just a matter of whether or not we'll bring that stuff to the team. Is ultimately the key. But that being said, again, allow your team freedom in what they do and how they market, and don't try and push them into a cookie cutter box, and all that good stuff. So Amy, over to you.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I've noticed the biggest difference since I changed my vehicle a couple of years ago. I was completely loyal to my previous company. I was with that company. I'm still with that company. I mean, I still have an income stream from that company. I'm not actively building it anymore, but I was actively building that company for 9 years. And the hardest thing about it for me was that they were like, okay, this is what you have to do is make a list of your friends and family, and the 3-foot rule, and cold calling realtors, and like there were certain things that we not only did I have to do, but I had to tell my team members that that's what they had to do too if they wanted to have success. And it was really hard, because not only did I not enjoy my life, I didn't enjoy what I was doing on a daily basis, which in my opinion, there's only so much success you can actually have when you don't love what you do. You can be a lot more successful when you actually love what you do, which I do now. But the other piece of it for me that was so hard was that I was asking people on my team to do things that I hated to do and that I knew they weren't going to want to do either. So when you look at that model, it's like, the chance of anybody having success is not nearly as good as when you can pick something that you actually think is fun to do. Like what we have here inside of Empower Network, we have a product called the 15K Formula that's literally a buffet of marketing strategies. And when you own that product, you can go through and these are marketing strategies taught by people that are making at least $15,000 a month. Most of them are making $50,000, $100,000 a month doing these particular strategies. They're teaching on the strategy that they've mastered. And so what that does is it allows a new person to come in and go through that buffet of marketing strategies and find something that they resonate with. So, I like to make videos, but somebody else might not want anything to do with videos, and they just want to do paid ads. There's something in there for everybody. And so this way we can, like Jordan said, people can choose something that feels good to them, that they resonate with, that sounds like fun to them. And do that every day instead of asking people to go out and do things that they don't want to do, because again, asking people, for me it was just really hard. When I would sign up a new person, and then I would have to sit down with them and help them make their list, and we had this thing. I mean, the final straw for me was when the company brought in a new consultant that was teaching us this 2-minute warning thing, and we were doing it at our Super Saturdays. And the whole room would have to sit there for 2 minutes and write down their plumber and their hairdresser, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this, and I'm embarrassed to bring new people here to do this because they don't want to do it either.
You know what's funny about that one, Amy? This just brought this up. When you talk about making a list of your plumber and your hairdresser and your chiropractor and all that stuff, I remember I remember years ago. And this happened, I was in a company for a month 10 years ago, okay? So, I don't really consider that because I really didn't do anything because I spent a majority of the time not really doing anything. My brother had gotten all my friends and family, so I pretty much I actually did prospect a homeless guy at 2 in the morning one night. That didn't work out too well. He was homeless, so to think that he had $500 sitting around to start a business was pretty insane. In both companies where the people are all about doing the offline marketing, which I have nothing against. If that's what you want to do, fine. But to force people into doing anything is where I don't like it. But I remember one time they said, Jordan, do you have a doctor? Do you have a dentist? Do you have this, that, the other thing? And I said, well, yeah. And they said, well, ask them to do business with you. And if they won't do business with you, stop doing business with them. And I said, I completely disagree with that. I go to my chiropractor at the time. I remember this was the most recent one. I was like, I go to my chiropractor because he makes my back feel better, right? I go there for a specific reason, for a purpose, because he helps me with something. Likewise, when you learn how to market effectively, you have people coming to you because you can help them with something, right? They should be wanting to do business with you because they want to do business with you, not because you're strong arming them into something or making them feel bad or doing any kind of stupid marketing. In my opinion, stupid marketing. Like, I don't think you should be like, hey, I'm not going to buy your product or service if you don't spend money on me every month. Like, that's just crazy. It's like, no, I like their product or service. I buy it because it does something good for my life. Like, I'm not buying it so that he'll spend $100 a month with whatever product or service I'm going to sell him. Like, that's not why I'm doing business with my chiropractor, you know? So I just had to throw that out there, Amy, because I think that's so absurd, you know?
Yeah, well, somebody said the same thing to me about my insurance guy. They're like, he makes residual income off of you, so therefore you should be making residual income off of him. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. He's the best insurance guy around.
Right.
And I appreciate him, and I'm happy that he makes residual income off of me. I don't expect anything else, you know, other than that from him. And yeah, so I mean, I totally agree.
That's funny.
You know, the other thing about like where I've come from is, you know, like I still love that company and I still love those products. I was so loyal to that company for 9 years, and what I finally realized was, like, I started to branch off and learn internet marketing. What I saw was a way to leverage my time. You know, as a single mother, I didn't want to train people one-on-one anymore because I was saying the same thing over and over and over again. 90% of the people I trained never did anything, so it was a waste of my time. But the fact of the matter was I felt like a broken record. I'm like, well, can't I just record this on a video, and when people join my team, I can give them a video? And so as I started to learn internet marketing, and I started to learn that there was only so big of a team that I could grow unless I started to leverage my time this way by putting a video on a website and doing things like that, because I only have so many hours in a day to train people. If I was to sign 30 people up in a day, there's no way I could handle that. So that's what I started to learn when I got into the world of internet marketing. And my company was like, no, 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 that's too impersonal. You can't do it that way. And I was like, well, I'm going to do it that way anyway. And so they didn't support it. Like, they didn't have any of this stuff built into the company at all. So I was trying to reinvent the wheel by building websites of my own and doing all this stuff because I wanted to market online for a company that was not set up for that. And what ended up happening was, I mean, I was failing miserably. Like, it wasn't working, and I was spending a lot of time. I mean, at the time, I really didn't even know that much about how to build a website. I was learning it as I went, and I was trying to do all this different stuff. And finally, somebody said to me, you know, Amy, you can make a lot of money if you were with the right vehicle. You know, you just don't have the right vehicle because this company isn't set up for the kind of marketing that you want to do. And right at that time is when Empower Network launched, and it turned out to be perfect because here it is. Here's a company that's committed to helping us market online. They're teaching us, not only teaching us how to market online, but they're giving us the capture pages, they're giving us the emails, they're just making it so easy for us, which was something that I never had before. So I really just had to get out of my own way and realize, like, am I being loyal? I had to ask myself the question, am I being loyal to, you know, I was being loyal to my company, but was I being loyal to my family by staying with a company that wasn't, you know, helping me get where I wanted to go, the way that I wanted to do it, the way that I wanted to market. So when I finally looked at it that way, and I thought, you know, like, there is no such thing as disloyalty when I'm doing the right thing for my family. And like I said, I still love that company. I still take the products. You know, I still have a downline over there and everything. I'm no hard feelings whatsoever. I just realized that for me, it was squelching my passion, which was internet marketing, because there wasn't a way for me to do it. Like, even I remember being so frustrated one night because they were doing this big promotion. We had a conference call, and they're like, for the next 4 days or whatever of the month, this specific product is going to be 50% off. And so I was creating like Facebook events and doing all this like stuff to draw attention to this. But the only way that people could get the discount is if they call an 800 number. So I call the company. I'm like, you can't. People at midnight on Facebook are not going to like write down the number and wait for business hours tomorrow and call an 800 number to order something. Like, if they're on Facebook at midnight and there was a buy now button, like, we're leaving a lot of money on the table. I was trying to explain this to them. And they're like, no, honey, this is belly to belly. We need to talk to these people. I'm like, no, we don't.
Yeah.
You know, and I know for me, like, I spend money late at night all the time that I, like when I went, like I bought a lawnmower on HomeDepot.com the other night, like half asleep. I woke up in the morning, I'm like, what the hell did I just do?
Yeah.
You know, like I do this all the time. And I know that people do that. I know that when people are like surfing the web late night or whatever, that they buy stuff. They're not like, I am not going to call, I would not have called Home Depot 1-800 Home Depot the next morning to order the lawnmower. It was there. It was free shipping. I was like, ah, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, free shipping on a lawnmower. Yeah.
If I buy it right now. Oh, it's awesome. Oh,
Yeah. So anyway, it was just, you know, it really is. That's, you know, I totally love this bullet point here because it's so true. Like people are so much more likely to succeed. I mean, look what happened. The minute I switched and found a vehicle that was congruent with what I wanted to do, my income started to skyrocket. I was starting to enjoy what I was doing, and I started making money and enjoying my life and having leverage. I mean, our company is all about leverage, right? And so is our team. We've created this whole team site that does exactly what I was just talking about that I was trying to do by myself, which is someone joins, we send them to the team site, we have a getting started process that they go through that has videos that they can watch. So I don't have to get on the phone and train people, neither do you if you're on our team, you know. So that's all in place. So now I get to spend way more time with my kids. I make way more money. I get to do what I love. I love my life instead of like dreading my life every day, you know, getting up thinking, oh God, I got to call 100 realtors again today, oh, you know, or whatever. So anyway, it's amazing what can happen when you do what you love, and when, you know, to be able to, that's the other thing is what we're talking about here is allowing your team to market the way that suits them. So for me, it feels so much better to be able to, you know, tell my team, like, here's a whole bunch of different ways you can do this, and you can do whichever one you want, or you can create your own way, and it's all good, you know. It's not, I'm not saying sit down and make a list, even though you really don't want to. I'm telling you, this is what you have to do.
Oh, I know. Oh my God. I told people the same thing. I'm like, you need to make a list of your friends and family. They're like, well, I don't want to learn that. I'm like, well, you got to do that first, then I'll start teaching you other stuff. And yeah, it never worked out, you know, because they weren't open to allowing people to have the freedom to do what they were doing, which was really interesting too, because, you know, a lot of the leaders inside the company had all built it online. You know, a lot of the big leaders inside the company had built all their teams online, and the company was still teaching people, make a list of friends and family, do this, do that. Which, again, you know what? If that's what you want to do, but I'll tell you what. I remember being on the phone with my brother for like the 7th time, calling him and saying, you know, we just came out with this thing where when you refer 3, you get it free. You don't even have to pay for it. It's free, and it's just like free money. And he's like, Jordan, shut the fuck up. Like, just, if you're going to call me about your business, I don't want to talk. You know, like that's when that's when your family's like, just please stop contacting me. My God.
Stop
right?
getting invited to Thanksgiving dinner and
Oh,
graduation.
Yeah, well, you know, I was out for his wedding, and he's like, you know what? He's like, it's so cool that you haven't mentioned your business once. I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't, you know, I'm not going to call you anymore. Like, I'm not being pressured by my upline to call you anymore and contact you about the next best thing, because quite honestly, because you don't want to do it. Like, you don't want to build this business. If, on the other hand, you know, I have people, family, friends that have come and joined me in my team mainly through watching my success on Facebook and saying, I want to work with you. What do you do? Like, can I get in on that? Because it looks good. It looks really good. Like, I want that, you know, like one of my cousins contacted me. He's like, dude, you just moved into a 4-story condo. Like, you're living the life. I want what you have. How do I do it? I was like, go watch this video.
Yeah, my brother was the same. Like, I remember, like, something changed. I had already talked to him about this company like 50,000 times, but then they changed something. So my upline was like, call your brother again. Maybe he'll be interested. And he was like, Amy, I don't want to say it again. Like, I'm not interested in your company. And so anyway, I stopped talking to him about it. But anyway, now that I'm in this company, it was really funny because we were on the plane going to Ireland. And we got off the plane, and I was sitting in the back seat checking my email on my phone, and I saw that I had made $3,000 commission while we were on the plane. I think I made a $3,000 commission and a $1,000. So I made $4,000 while we were on the plane going to Ireland. And I'm sitting in the back seat. I'm like, I just made $4,000. He's like, what the hell do you do? He's like, can you explain? Can you teach me? what you do now, like before I couldn't get them to listen to me, and then I said the same thing. I'm like, I can send you a link to a video, but like, I'm not going to explain anything to you, but here's a link.
Nice.
So, which is awesome, because like we're in Ireland driving along the countryside. I don't want to talk about business.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
so
absolutely.
Like,
I'm on vacation. I don't want to talk about business. I just want to be on vacation and have fun and not think about business. That's why I'm on vacation right now, because I don't want to think about business. My goodness,
and
that's
it is
awesome.
a beautiful thing that you can make $4,000 while you're on a plane, because in the old thing I was doing, no money was coming in unless I was on the phone doing a three-way call, putting in a credit card for that putting in that person's credit card information. It never happened that I checked my email and there was $4,000. That never happened.
Right.
So that's the other thing I love about this is
I remember
automation.
I got one autopilot sign up in my last company, and I was just so amazed at how that happened. I was like, I have no clue how that happened, but it was freaking awesome. One out of the 150 people I brought into that company, one of them was autopilot, even though I was a marketer online, because we didn't have the stuff in place to do that. Like, we didn't have the stuff in place for them to go through a funnel, look at a video, say, yeah, this makes sense. I'm ready to get started. Here's my credit card. Let's just do it, right? Like, I mean, even right now below this video, folks, there is a button that you can click and you can get started with the person who invited you here, right? Like, anyone in the team who invited you here, you can get started with them right now for just $25. And this website has been here for over a year now, and we replace the video every single Tuesday with our new Hangout, right? So all week long, this video is going to be playing there. People are going to be coming back to it, and people have the ability to join the team with whoever invited them here, literally while they're sleeping or doing anything else. It's absolutely awesome. So if you decide to get started right now and you go through and you set up your affiliate account and do all that stuff, the affiliate account's $19.95 a month as well, so you can earn 100% commissions on a lot of our products. You can actually turn around, plug in your username to the link up above, and send out the email copy that we have on our team site. You can send that out tomorrow, or even late tonight if you wanted to. Probably tomorrow morning, though, would be a better idea. Like, say, instant replay, and then put the Hangout copy there and say, hey, I just got off this awesome training last night. You should check it out. It changed my life, because it did, because you just got started with our team, so it did change your life. And
then you're providing value for others.
Exactly.
And then they have the opportunity to join you too. Like Jordan said, this video will stay up for a week. All of our videos are up for a week, so our team gets to promote this page for a week, and it's coded, so they get credit for anybody that joins when they come here. It's a beautiful thing. It's all leveraged.
So let's move on to number 3. Are you guys ready for number 3? This one's actually really important. Make some noise down below if you're ready for number 3. I'm gonna grab a drink of water while you guys are doing that, and then we'll get on with it, because we're gonna keep this. We're gonna attempt to keep this thing under an hour here.
We know there's a little bit of a delay, but we have to see that you're ready for number 3 before we do it, right?
But wait, there's more. Nice one, Michael. Yes, there is. Awesome stuff. Cool. So, moving right along, let's get into number 3 here. And number 3, this one is just this one. I mean, this is really where the money starts coming in, folks. And this is really where the team starts to stick around. This is where other people start coming into the team a whole lot more. This is like the ultimate leverage here in every single direction. Like, it's not just like one direction. And I'll tell you, years ago when I first got started, I had a team member of mine in one of the companies I was in start like outproducing me, not financial wise, but she started sponsoring more people than me into that company. And for an instant, probably about maybe 10 minutes, I should say, maybe even a day or so, I was like really jealous. I'm like, that's not fair. Like, I can't have this person outproducing me. Like, I can't have my team member doing better than me. That's not okay. That was the ego kicking in there, right? And all of a sudden I said, you're being stupid. Like, because I did want people to, like, I really wanted her to succeed. I was like, I'm excited that she's making money, but I'm also like nervous that she's going to start making more money than me. And wrong way to think. Let me just tell you right now, wrong. Amy makes more money than me. And I love it. It's freaking awesome. She makes way more money than me. And it's just so cool.
I love it too.
So do your daughters. I know they love it too. With all the vacations you guys get to go on and all the fun stuff you guys get to do.
Oh,
But
you never do anything fun or go on any vacations either.
I mean, it's been a minute. I mean, it's May now, right? I mean, the last vacation I went on was, oh, I suppose like 20 days ago.
And it's still April, and your vacation was in April.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Okay. Touche. But anyways, the biggest thing you can do here, once you stay consistent and once you teach your team how to market and they start getting results, you want to lift your team up, right? Like you want to lift your team up, and I'm going to share with you how to do that and how to do it effectively to actually give them more results and also help you to get more results. So I'm going to kind of plow through this and share my insights on it. And then again, I'll pull Amy out to have her share her insights on it as well. This is what a lot of people get wrong, because that ego gets in the way and they don't want, their team member to outshine them or something like that. And ultimately, I want my entire team to succeed. And I want people, I do this with people who aren't even financially beneficial to me. Like I look down Chris's team downline, who doesn't make me any money in any way, shape, or form, other than the fact that when our team succeeds as a whole, we succeed more. And I believe in abundance, so I want our entire team to succeed no matter what. And so, like, if I see someone starting to get results, and I can't catch everyone, so I'm going to share some tips with you. If you are someone who is in a team, maybe you're in our team even, or maybe you're in another team, your upline, maybe if they're a person up from you or 3 people up from you, or maybe they're directly up from you, they might not see or catch that you are starting to consistently produce results. They might not say, oh my God, this person just sponsored 3 people this month and they've never sponsored before. Well, what happened? Where did they come from? How did they do it? That's amazing, right? Like that's an amazing feat to start sponsoring people consistently. And so what I do personally is I'm kind of like looking for it. We've got a Facebook group where people get plugged in, and all of a sudden I kind of start noticing, I'm like, well, that person, I see their name keep popping up for having sponsored people, for having brought people in, right? Like they keep getting tagged in posts saying, congratulations to so-and-so for bringing people in. And I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. And so then what I do is I go contact that person. I say, hey, I noticed that you've been, sponsoring consistently lately and starting to bring some people in and really getting some results. And I've got a couple questions for you because I want to help you in any way I can to be able to either produce more results, start sponsoring more people. Let's see if we can help you get the better results with this, but also to help you get people upgrading. You see, because here inside of our team, inside of Empower Network, when we bring people in at the $25 level, that's just the beginning, right? I mean, don't think for a moment that we're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, selling just $25 products, because it's not happening that way. Although it is for some people inside the company that are making the 6 figures just from the $25 product alone. A lot of the money, a majority of the money, if I go look at my spreadsheet here for earnings right now, I can tell you that so far this year between the two base, which is the $25 and the $100 products, that's only accounts for 38% of my income. The other majority of my income from the year comes from larger commission products, right? And so how do we get team members who are just starting to sponsor and just starting to get results to start producing more and to start selling higher ticket items so they can increase their bottom line really quickly, right? Because again, $25 commissions are great, $100 commissions are great, but when we can start getting people earning, $200, $500, $1,000 and $3,000 commissions, everything shifts. That's where someone can go from having, like a few $100 a month to having a few $1,000 months with the course of just one customer, right? And so here's how you do it, right? Here's how you do it. And folks, this is going to go both ways. So if you're a team leader who wants to bring your people up, or if you're someone who wants to be brought up by your team leader, here's how you do it, right? Now, before I get into that, though, I want to share something with you because this happened to me years ago. This is how I engineered my first $10,000 month in an entirely different company. Do you guys want to know about that? I mean, that'd be pretty cool if I taught you how to engineer your first 5-figure month, like pretty, I'm not going to say easily because this does take work, but this is how you do it.
Simply.
Simply, right? This is the process, and really by saying the word easy or not, easy is in comparison to what? If I had to go out, my buddy was a construction worker working 16 hours a day, making $20. He was making about $30 an hour, which is really good money for an hourly pay scale. But 5 years into the job, he blew his knee out at the age of like 27, and now he can't work, right? Okay, so easy compared to what, right? I used to work in a kitchen 10 to 15 hours a day, sometimes more than that, 5, 6, 7 days a week. I used to work over 100 hours a week in a kitchen, sweating my ass off, just absolutely hustling to make $10 an hour or less, right? Like, so easy compared to what? If I
Even
could,
the old things that we were just talking about, cold calling and all that stuff, to me, what we do now is so much easier than even that.
oh, absolutely. So I watched this guy come into a company, and I mean, I didn't see him at first, but when he finally came on the radar, I said, man, he's only been in for a little bit of time. He came on the radar and blew up, right? So what he did was he came into the company, he busted his ass as hard as he could to get a lot of results very quickly, right? To get a ton of results really quickly. And it's better, folks, if you get into something, like if you were to get started with us right now, it is best for you to take immediate action, to get through our quick getting started guide, to go into the site, to pick a marketing strategy, and to start going out there and doing it. Because when you can get some quick results, you're going to get on the radar of the leadership a whole lot faster. So that's what he did. He got on the radar of the leadership. They came and said, hey, can you teach the entire company what you're doing? And what happened was they put him on a weekly webinar, and all of a sudden, literally tens of thousands of people knew about this guy, right? Because the audience was just huge, right? So all of a sudden, everyone knows about this guy. He's like an instant celebrity, right? I'm reading this book right now from Frank Kern. It's called Convert. One of the key things about this book is becoming a celebrity, because when you're a celebrity, when people see you as a celebrity, they will pay you more money. They will give you higher prices. They will spend more money with you, join you easier. It doesn't matter how bad your sales process is. When you are seen as a celebrity, people want to do business with you because you're a celebrity, right? So me seeing this, I remember sitting down at dinner with my dad that night. This was when I still lived in a room like half this size at my dad's house, down in the basement. I remember going up for it was actually a steak dinner that night. It was awesome. It was like my highlight of the week, steak dinner with my parents. And I remember going up for dinner and telling him, like, I just figured it out. Like, I figured out the golden ticket. Like, this is the key. All I have to do is get a bunch of results. And as soon as I get a bunch of results, they're going to have to market me to their audience, and I'm going to instantly become famous, and people are going to spend a ton of money with me. Like, that's just how it's going to work, right? Well, that's exactly how it does work. I've put together training after training after training on this exact topic over the years, and I've barely seen anyone else ever talk about it until I actually read this book. I've not seen a lot of people say, you need to understand higher click-through rates, you need to understand better conversion rates, you need to understand better opt-in rates, you need to understand this, that, the other thing. The bottom line is, if someone looks at you and says, my God, that person's famous, like I have a picture of me speaking up on stage in front of like 500 people or so, that instantly positions me as more celebrity than me not having that picture, right? When you have pictures of you with like very famous people inside our industry, it positions you as more of a leader. Get to live events for that reason. When you can get pictures and videos with people that are famous, you instantly become more of a celebrity. All these different things you can do to become more of a celebrity, but getting some results. And again, it doesn't have to be massive. For what I wanted to do, it had to be a good amount of results, right? And when I did that, what happened was very quickly over the course of about 3 months, once I came onto their radar, I went from doing a few things, hosting a few webinars with them, becoming one of their members of the month. All of a sudden, we sold one of my products, and over the course of 10 days, I made $10,000 in 10 days, right? I engineered it by becoming a celebrity, right? Once you're a celebrity, I mean, I look back at our sales video that we had for this product, and it was hilarious because me and the guy that were selling it, like, we were so hungover the time that we shot this capture page video. We were so hungover, like he was actually sitting like this in front of the camera, like ready to puke, and we'd say we're going live, and he'd kind of like sit up and like catch his breath, and then we'd start talking. We looked just like a wreck, I look back at that video, we just looked awful. Here's why it converted really well. Here's why it sold really well. We sold like something like 45 or 50% of the people on that webinar bought our product that night, right? We did this because we were a celebrity. We did this because we had clout, because people looked at us and said, you guys are awesome because they're saying you're awesome, right? So What I do and what we do here in the team is when we see someone getting results, we go to them and say, okay, it's not so important necessarily exactly what you're doing, because ultimately we don't want to necessarily plug into everyone and say, hey, go use this strategy because this is what's working, like we said earlier. But when we see someone getting results, we can interview them and kind of figure out a few things. We can bring them onto a hangout like this. You guys might notice, if you've been around us for a while, you see different leaders jump onto these hangouts, or different people coming up jump onto these hangouts because they're getting results. So when we bring those people out and showcase them and put them in front of the entire audience, a few things happen. This is why you want to get results quickly. A few different things happen. One is, if they have leads here, their leads say, oh my God, like that person invited me here and here they are talking about the results they're getting. Like we have credibility, and maybe not with that person yet, but we have credibility with that person through the fact that they sent out an email saying, come learn from my leaders who make 6 figures a year on how they're doing XYZ, right? So they pass the credibility to us by telling their audience, these people are credible, you need to learn from them, right? Even though that person might not have massive results, they say we have credibility, right? So then what happens is we then pull that person out and put them over here and say, okay, this person's awesome because of this. So now their audience is seeing them get authority passed over from us. It's called the power triangle. And when we pass that authority and credibility onto them, they're now instantly more credible with their audience, because their audience already sees us as successful leaders, and we're saying this person is someone you should listen to. Their audience sees that, so they're going to get more people to join their team because of that. Now here's the other thing that happens. The people that are in their team might come to them, they might do it right away, they might come to them later and say, okay, what did you do? Like, how did you get those results? And most likely they're going to say, well, I bought XYZ products, I went through the training, and I implemented it, and I got these results. So if you want to get the results I'm getting, if you want to do what I'm doing, you need to buy this product, this product, this product, and this product. Study it, pick one strategy. I'll help you do that, but make sure that you give yourself the proper education and tools by buying the same things that I bought, right? What's going to happen is their team members are going to start buying products and services that they otherwise would not have bought because they didn't see them as credible. Now they're going to start buying that. What happens is that person then all of a sudden gets a $1,000 commission or $500 or a $3,000 commission. Instantly, now they've made a whole bunch more money. And now their story gets even bigger, and we just keep lifting them up, right? We just keep lifting them up. And that's exactly what happens. So folks, do that with your team to help them get more results. If you are someone who wants that, go out there and get results. I had someone, I have people come to me all the time and say, Jordan, I want you to come coach me. And I say, well, yeah, I mean, we've got a few different options. One is our team. If you own the master's course, which if you don't own it yet, folks, you can buy it at any time by clicking the login and upgrade here. It's the easy button down below. You can buy the master's course at any time. Every Wednesday, we're actually going through the master's course right now and masterminding on it, but we also have Q&A at the end of those calls. And so you can get questions answered there. The other way that I told people, I'm like, well, I sometimes maybe do coaching, but I typically do it with my team members who are getting results. And they're like, well, I'm not getting any results yet. Can't you please just help me because I need to be succeeding and you should want me to succeed? Well, I do want you to succeed. However, we have thousands of people in the team, and if we were to give time to every single person who's brand new, who doesn't have results yet, then where would we have time for vacation? We'd be talking about this amazing lifestyle, but we'd be living a nightmare. And ultimately, that would also get you in the position of saying, well, they coached me when I wasn't making any money and didn't get any results and didn't implement anything, and now I have to do that with my team. It's going to scare people away. It instantly scares people away, right? Do everything leveraged. That's the way we do it, right? So lifting your team up, and if you're not in the position of having a team, if you're just getting started, lift yourself up. Study, implement as much as you can. Stay focused on one strategy, get results. Force your team leaders to lift you up. If they don't see you, now here's the key, folks. Sometimes we don't see everyone, right? So if you're getting results, if you're starting, like a guy that we brought out on one of our calls last night, that's for a private group on our team. One of the guys we brought out on the calls, I would have never have known that he sponsored 2 people last week had he not said it to our assistant, had he not said it to Andrea, and she emailed in and said, hey, this guy just came in and he got two signups in his second week doing stuff. Like, so we're probably you're gonna see him out on a hangout soon, right? But we wouldn't have known that if he didn't say something to her. So when you get results, and I'm not saying for every lead you generate, you don't need to email the leadership in your team like, hey, I just generated a lead. You can do that, but I wouldn't do it every time. and you can do it when you get, a sign up. But I would do that actually every time I get a sign up. I would, go to people and say, hey, I just got another sign up. Like, hopefully, I want my leadership to see that, because then they can know that they should pull me up and feature me. When we have hundreds and even thousands of people that we're looking over, we can't catch everything, right? Can't catch everything. So leaders out there, tell your team to let someone know, let leadership know, send something into support, do something to let the leadership and the team know that they're getting results, because we want to feature our team members to bring them up. So with that, Amy, I could keep talking for a long time, but I want to pull you out and get your insights on that topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and this is one of the purposes of our Facebook community as well. We have a lot of recognition in there. We have people recognizing themselves publicly, which allows us to know what's going on, but also, in Empower Network, we get notified for certain times when our team members sponsor somebody. We get, if it's a pass up, we get notified, and so we know that way as well. But we love to recognize people publicly inside of that group. And David Wood, who is the founder of Empower Network, he talks about this all the time. He talks about how, we even have at least one, maybe more than one training in the inner circle specifically about how to go from nowhere to, to the top, and that's by getting exposure. And that's exactly what he did. He got in, he worked his ass off, like 18 hours a day or whatever, living in a van to produce results so that he would get recognized and he would get exposure. And that's what he did. And he got exposure inside of this company that he was in. And the next thing you knew, he was a celebrity. And he was just, he went from like nothing to $30,000 a month, and it's just up from there. And he talks about that all the time. It's such a powerful thing. And the best way to get exposure is to, like Jordan said, create results, and start by getting exposure within your team. And we love to edify our team members. I always, when my team members have any kind of result, you'll notice, if you're on my team, you see that I usually send out an email to my entire list talking about that person. So now that person becomes, their name becomes known on Facebook. It gets known to all of my subscribers. And then a lot of times what we do too is we create that email so that it can be, we create a swipe copy so the whole team can use it. And so now you have thousands of people sending out an email about you to all of their subscribers, which can be like tens of thousands of people, and your picture and your name is showing up in their inbox. And so the more that happens, the more you get lifted up by your team, the faster your name becomes kind of like a household name. And even like without just getting results, the other thing that you can do that's worked really well for me, any opportunity that you have to create a testimonial, especially a video, all the time people are asking for testimonials. And if you can, look at that as an opportunity, because what it is, if somebody's going to put your video on their website, that's exposure for you. And you never know who's going to see that video and connect with you. And the more places people start to see you, like I did a testimonial video for this guy that created a Facebook tool. I used his Facebook tool. It's like a fan page thing, and he sent out an email asking for testimonials. I created a testimonial, and he had, for the longest time, he had one video on his sales page, and it was me. And under my video, he had links to all my fan pages on Facebook, because he wanted people to see the fan pages that I created with his tool. So I was getting free traffic to all my fan pages because I made this video. And so then people were becoming my fan, and then they were starting to see my posts, and you just never know what can happen. The other thing I did is Empower Network asked for they're always asking for testimonials for stuff, and it's a great way to get exposure. I did a product testimonial a while back that they put up on their site, and Jordan was at my house the other day, and I was like, oh, look, someone just sent out my video. Like, it's still, that video, that was like 2 years ago. That video is still getting sent. People are putting it up on their YouTube channels. It's all over the place. Jordan is in the new sales video for Empower Network because he sent in a testimonial. So, thousands of people, tens of thousands probably, of people are looking at that every day and seeing him in there. So any chance you have, it doesn't matter if it seems like a big opportunity or a small opportunity, any opportunity for exposure is good. And so this is just kind of a tangent that I'm going off on, but just because we're talking about exposure.
That's a great tangent.
Yeah, it's not, you can get exposure without actually producing results. Like, when I did that testimonial for the fan page thing, like I hadn't gotten any results. I just got the tool and I created some fan pages with it, and I made a testimonial video talking about how easy it was to create these fan pages. The next thing you know, my fan pages were getting free traffic because he used my video, So I also believe, like doing testimonials like that, it's kind of the what comes around goes around kind of thing. I've always been willing to give anybody a testimonial. If they specifically ask me for one, I'll always do it. And if I see an opportunity to do one where they're not specifically asking me, but they're asking like a blanket, I'm looking for testimonials, I always jump at the chance. And because of that, what I found is, it's just that what comes around goes around. Like, I'm willing to help other people, and that just comes back around to help you. And it's, like Jordan said, I believe in abundance as well, and there's enough for everybody. And so it's never gonna hurt us to lift somebody else up. It's only gonna help us, and it's gonna help them. And again, like, the reason that it works so well when we lift up our team members is because the more we help our team members succeed, and the more our team succeeds as a whole, then the more it helps our team members succeed, because more people want to join our team as a whole. So this is such a crucial piece to understand. And so anyway, that's what I got, Jordan.
I gotta throw something in there on that one, on the testimonial thing, because I was involved in a company years ago, and I remember them asking, for testimonials, and I immediately sent mine in. Like, it was like that. I was like, sent it in. And they had featured it like right below the sales video. It was the top testimonial. It was just written with a picture of me. And overnight, my sales doubled, consistently doubled from there on out. Like, the same traffic, the same leads, my sales doubled, because I'm now a credible source, because I'm sending people to this page and they're like, oh, that's the guy that sent us here. Oh my God, that's amazing, right? The other thing that happens, folks, and this is so cool. I was involved in a company years ago. I bought a product that someone told me to buy, and it was someone who was, one of my mentors told me to buy. He said, you need to buy this training. It's awesome. I said, okay, well, I'm going to have to go cry on my dad's shoulder again and borrow some money, because I don't have the money, but I'm going to go do it. And I did, and I borrowed the money, and I got the product, and I bought it, and I went through it. Here's the key part, folks. I went through it, and I implemented what I was learning. And about 6 or 8 months later or so, I got an email. And this was like when emails on phones were first coming out, But I remember being downstairs at work checking my email, because I was just like, I was so always excited about the business, even though I wasn't making a ton of money yet. And I remember checking my email, and it said, it said this person wants to feature you. And I'm like, oh, well, he had basically sent out an email to everyone who had purchased the product, and he said, hey, you bought this product when it first launched. If you got good results with it, I want you to brag about it. I want you to put a blog post up, shoot videos, like whatever you want to do, but put together a thing showcasing your results and brag to the world about the results that you've gotten. So at first in my mind, I said, well, my results haven't been that amazing. They're going to go pick people whose results have been amazing, who've made hundreds of thousands of dollars and all this other stuff. That lasted about 3 seconds in my head before I said, no, I've gotten some results, and they probably want to feature people too that have gotten just some results as well. And so immediately I went home after work, and I spent the next hour putting together this thing, showing screenshots of my results, of my traffic, of my lead flow, of my, just money and different things that I had made and all this stuff. And I put together this blog post, and about 4 or 5 days later, I was on the email list, and I see this email come out with my headline, and I was like, oh, my heart dropped. I was like, oh my God, they featured me, right? Like, this was instantly awesome for me, because what happened, a few things happened. One, we were releasing the product, and what happened was a bunch of people bought the product from me, right? That never would have heard of me otherwise. So instead of me I made $0 when we first launched the product, even though I was marketing it like crazy. That week I made somewhere around like $1,300 or so relaunching the product, because I now had credibility, right? Here's the other thing that happened. I can count from that single testimonial, from that single testimonial, just from that one, I know of eight people, eight people who've joined my team in different companies over the years. Some of them are in this company with me, and some of those people have gone on to not only make me money and buy a bunch of stuff, but they've gone on to produce and pass up sales to me and commissions. So that single testimonial that I put out there has made me probably over 5 figures. Just that I can think of, like immediately up front off the top of my head, has put over 5 figures in my pocket doing that one testimonial, right? And the list goes on, folks. Like this is some of the ways that you manufacture becoming a celebrity. When you get someone coming to you, and it amazes me too, because sometimes, and maybe we didn't make it clear enough how cool this is, but sometimes we'll go to the team and say, hey, we need testimonials, and only 5 or 10 people will send stuff in, and I'm just like, holy cow. Like, anytime someone asks me for one, like, I stop what I'm doing. I'll shoot a video right there. If I'm in the middle of the park or whatever, I'll shoot a video right there and just say, this is, you gotta check this thing out. It's amazing, because that's where it begins. That's where you start to get put on the shoulders of giants, and they don't have to be like, you don't have to eat, like, your aim should be, I want to be put on the shoulders of people that are, making 7 figures. The company owners can put me at the top, all that stuff. But what if it just started with you getting put on the shoulders of people who were making a few $1,000s a month if you're making nothing, right? Like, what happens if you just start building that audience, and then all of a sudden you're getting put on, it's like, just keep stepping up, and you just keep getting put on the shoulders of bigger and bigger and bigger people till eventually, the big people come and say, hey, we need to market you. Like, we need to put you, people need to know about you and your story. And all of a sudden, your story's out there, and it doesn't matter at that point, like, what you're selling. People will buy it just because of how famous you are. There's a thing in here. Let me see if I can find this really quick, and it's just so cool. This is awesome. And I'm not going to read it verbatim because I don't know if we can, because this is Frank Kern stuff. But he talks about like Angelina Jolie. And she's on the cover of literally thousands of magazines, and one of them is, the title of it is The Sexiest Woman Alive. And he says, how hard do you think it would be for her to send out an email to, like, if she were to send out an email to 500 billionaires, all single males, and were to say something like, attention men seeking, sugar daddy that's going to pay for everything for me and wine and dine me and treat me like a princess, seeking the a gentleman that's going to do this for me, reply now. How many replies do you think she would get? A whole lot, because she's the sexiest woman alive, right? She's that celebrity status and looked upon as the sexiest woman alive, even though there's, maybe there's other women that are just as beautiful or even more beautiful and all that other stuff. She's now looked upon as the sexiest woman alive, because from credible sources from huge companies, she's promoted as the sexiest woman alive. So when you can get people who have a larger audience than you to promote you, and likewise, folks, when you start to build that audience, you need to promote your team. We could beat that with like a dead horse. We could keep talking about it, but let's just recap the 3 things really quick, Amy, and then we'll start doing closing. What do you think?
Sounds great.
Cool. So thing number 1 is stay consistent with your vision, with your actions, and your company, so you can actually build a following, right? So you can actually build a group of people that's going to stay there with you, because if you're constantly jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, people they're going to stop following you eventually. You're going to have to constantly be building a new following, and oh my God, that's just painful. Thing number 2 is allow your team to market the way that suits them, and provide them as many tools and resources as you can so they have what they need to succeed. I'm not saying you need to go out there and study every marketing strategy and give it all to them. I'm not saying you need to go break your back, and if they come to you, like we've had people come to us and say, hey, what do you think if we would have something like this in place for the team to use? Like, yeah, that's a great idea, but we don't have time to build it. So if you go build something and test it out and get it working, and whatnot, then we can work on it. What I'm saying is, if someone in your team is succeeding with a certain thing, then say, okay, can we duplicate that for the entire team? Is that something we can bring for the entire team? Can we give this training on what you're doing to the entire team? Can we plug stuff in so the entire team could be able to use this kind of stuff? And we're constantly working on stuff like that. Thing number 3 is lift your team up when they start getting results to help them get more results. Okay, so those are the 3 things, and with that, I just want to say one more thing again, folks. If you're here right now, you've been here for 75 minutes, you watched the entire thing, it's because, obviously, hopefully you got some. Make some noise below if you got something out of this training, if this helped you in any way. I hope it did. I think it did. I know if you're paying attention, in my opinion, if you're paying attention and you're like conscious, then this absolutely helped you in some way, shape, or form, because I know this works because this is what we've done again and again and again to get results, right? So make some noise below if you love this. And with that being said, if you're not part of the team yet, just click the button down below. For $25, you can plug in with the person who invited you here. It doesn't matter who you plug in with. Whoever you plug in with, you're going to get plugged into the same kind of training, the same kind of support. Just like there was a lady asking me, I need one-on-one support, and I said, no, you don't, because we give everything in group support, right? So you're not going to get any better support no matter whose team you join. As long as you join the person who invited you here tonight, you're going to be able to plug in with our team. We don't open up to people that are in other teams in the company. We don't open up and say, hey, you can come in and do stuff. We don't do that, right? We have a lot of stuff available, and it's for our team members only. We do that because we want the exclusivity, and we want our team members to, get stuff that they've earned by being a part of the team, as well as have something to offer that other teams open up to everyone and anyone. They say anyone can come and join our team, and while that's cool, other people do that. We're just never going to do that. Like we've talked to other six-figure earners in the company that wanted to partner with us. We never have, right? So you get access to everything that we offer, and you get to look behind the curtains. You get to look behind the scenes for just $25. You get to plug in, and really to take on some massive action. I would recommend getting more of the products as quickly as you possibly can. That being said, you can get started. You can get moving forward. I've had people on my team get started for $25, and it's taken them months of working to upgrade and to build up and whatnot. But within 6 months, that person had their first $3,000 day, which I think is pretty freaking cool, considering they started at $25 level because that's all they could afford. So you can start at that level. I would recommend starting at a higher level and buying more of the products and services and training so you can really educate yourself. But we do have a lot of stuff at the $25 level that'll help you move forward. So click the button below. Get started with the person who invited you here tonight. We'll plug in with the tools and resources, the training that we have here, folks, too. Should you decide you want to build our company and build our team and all that, awesome. But should you decide you want to take the tools and the resources and the training to go build a different company, it's meant for that as well, right? Like you can totally take this training and build any network marketing company, any affiliate marketing company, anything else. The training is universal. The team building strategies that we learn inside here can be used for any single company. I just personally feel, I was actually talking with a friend about this the other day. She's like, can this stuff really work for any company? I said, well, absolutely it can. But people aren't earning as big of commissions or as high of commissions. People aren't earning 100% commissions in other companies. They're selling a $130 monthly product and making $6, right? Here we're selling $125 a month of our first two product levels, and we're making $125 a month minus some small fees, minus the merchant account fees, which you'd pay, if you were selling your own products anyway. You always have to pay merchant fees. There's no way around that. So in my opinion, there's no other company where you can earn the kind of money you can earn here. That being said, these principles, the concepts, the training will help you to market anything. And if you're trying to build a team anywhere, you can use them and apply them to build a team anywhere. Trust me. That being said, again, click the button below. Get started with the person who invited you here tonight. We'll welcome you into the team. We look forward to it. If you're not at the master's level yet, if you don't own the master's course, folks, get the master's course tonight. We're doing the master's call tomorrow. We're on week number 3 of the master's course. We're masterminding on that each and every single week, and we have Q&A at the end where you can plug in and ask questions and really move forward with us. So with that, Amy, I want to pass it over to you to close it out. I'm going to mute up. Hope you guys all love this here tonight, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I just want to end with my gratitude for, when we think about how fortunate we are to be in a time and a place where this kind of a business is available to us, where we don't have to go out, when I think about what I used to do, I used to wait tables and bartend, and or people that are swinging hammers, and just all of the stuff that ways that a lot of us used to earn an income. And now it's just, thanks to the internet and thanks to this company that has made things so easy. Even once I discovered network marketing, I was working my ass off, doing hotel events and home meetings and all of this other stuff. And I just feel really grateful on a daily basis to have access to something that makes it so easy. Like Jordan said, it's not necessarily easy. You do have to put the work in, but it's so simple, and it's and it can be really fun. And the amount of money that we can earn is so much more than anything I've ever done before. As a matter of fact, I had somebody call me today from my other company who wanted to order some products, and she ordered like $300 worth of products. This is like wellness stuff. And like in the past, I would have been so stoked about that, but I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna make like $7 from this $300 order, and it's like I can't get excited about it anymore. But but what we have here is just it's so awesome. And these principles that we went over tonight, you apply those to the simple business model that we have here, and that's it. I mean, that's the formula for success here. So I just, that's really what I want to say is how grateful I am to be here, how grateful I am for this company, for this business model, for this platform, for these amazing products that, with all the amazing training that has helped me go from, struggling and shopping at thrift stores only, and to, being able to take my kids on vacations and my dad on vacations, and, to do the things that I'm able to do, all by plugging into this platform. And I'm also extremely grateful for Jordan and Chris and Team Be the Change and everything that we have here. So, just going to end it on a note of gratitude, because we're all, if you're here tonight, you're fortunate too, because you are also in the right place at the right time. And this is something incredibly special and incredibly awesome that we have here. And it's, it's unique, and it's, I can't say enough good things about it. So I love you guys. It's been awesome hanging out with you as usual. And I hope this has helped you. And like Jordan said, if you don't own the master's course, definitely get it. This call that we're doing now, the master's call, has been really cool. It's been really cool to go back through the master's course for us, that have already gone through it, but also to be able to talk about it in a group setting. It's really cool because it helps everybody have breakthroughs that they wouldn't have otherwise had by hearing what other people's perception or the other breakthroughs that other people are having. And it's been a really juicy call. So if you really want to take your business and your life to the next level, I recommend, if you're planning on getting the master's course anyway, now is a really good time to get it, because you can go through it with all of us together. Like it's a whole other level. I mean, I know Jordan would agree with me. Like what I'm getting out of it this time is completely different than what I got when I went through it by myself, by being able to have a conversation about it. So
well, just have people make some comments down below, those of you that are going through with us, and actually the masterminding, how much more powerful that is. Make some noise down below, because I mean, it's truly, for me, it's so interesting to see the difference of myself. Like, a year ago when I first went through it, or 16 months ago or whatever, when I first went through it, and then when I went through it again, every time you go through something again, you're a different person, because you've learned different things, you've gone through different experiences, and so you're at a different level of understanding for certain concepts. But then to be able to see it from other people's viewpoints, it's like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that, or that didn't hit me, or whatever. It's so exciting.
The other really cool thing about this master's course too is that the master's course is live video footage from an event that happened in Costa Rica, and a lot of the people that are actually in the master's course are at a completely different level in their businesses than they were when that course was filmed, So it's really cool to see the transformation that's happened company-wide from the time that course was created until now, and it's because of what was taught at that event and the principles that are in that course. So it's powerful stuff. And so, I just wanted to mention that. Make sure I know that a lot of people are planning on getting that product anyway. Because it's an amazing product. And, again, you get the resale rights to that product. You get to earn $3,000 commissions by reselling it, which is a beautiful thing. A few of those, 3 of those a month, and you're a 5-figure monthly income earner. It's pretty awesome. And so I know a lot of you are planning on getting that product anyway. So like I said, now is a great time to get it, just because you can plug into these calls with us. This week we're going through, tomorrow we'll be going over video number 3, and there's 41 videos altogether, so you still have time to plug in. You can go back and listen to the replays from the last 2 weeks where we went over the first 2 videos, and be with us for the rest of the process. And it's a powerful thing. I see Ken is commenting here. it's different now after going through it the first time, and it's way better to get other perspectives on the master's course. I totally agree with that. I think it's so powerful to hear other people's bullet points that they're, and breakthroughs that they're having. So anyway, I look forward to those of you that are going to be on our master's call tomorrow night. I look forward to hearing you there. Again, if you don't own the master's course yet, you can get it between now and then, and Andrea will give you the information for our master's call, and we'll see you on there tomorrow night. And that's it. Jordan, do you want me to close it out, or did you want to say anything else? Okay, he's good. So, okay, I love you guys. I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm so happy for all of you that you're here, and I look forward to seeing you on the next Hangout. So have a great night, and be the change. Talk to you soon.